No Thresh bans yet, however.
You know, Kyle is a, it's not a bad name, but it just doesn't really strike fear into people, like nobody's afraid of Kyle, It's like, beware the wrath of Kyle. I don't know.
I think it's probably a South Park reference.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know. Sometimes, see, the thing is, a lot of Koreans have an English name that they don't use a lot, so maybe it's his English name.
Indeed. Well, there we go. Thresh for the first pick. Lee Sin's still available, however.
Yeah.
So is Jax, Shyvana.
They're going to lock in that Thresh.
And Lulu.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Immediately, Lulu and Lee Sin taken up by this BigFile Miracle team.
Yep.
And Elise will be the response, looks like, in favor of Snow. Now, Kyle looks like he's had a lot of bans leveled at him right now.
Certainly does. Clearly the player that BigFile Miracle's kind of worried about the most.
In spite of his not very intimidating name.
I know, yeah. Must be. Well,
they're intimidated by his champion pool.
That's right. Better to be intimidated by the champion pool than the name, I guess. Beware the wrath of Kyle.
So pretty standard lane here. Thresh and Twitch very strong in terms of kill potential. Elise a little bit more the default jungler, although the Kha'Zix's still up and they would like to take that instead. Would give them perhaps a little bit more pick potential,
yep.
But at least pretty darn good at creating picks as well. Now, what is the response going to be? More than likely, well, we could see Jax Lucian,
or we could see Jax Nami.
It's okay, they can save their AD carry for last. I'm actually really excited to see what this means for Core, because he's waiting until the very last to see what that AD carry is going to be. So are we going to see something a little bit more special here?
Well, Core is actually a Varus main, so
Nami Varus is not bad.
It's kind of interesting. And it says he also, is famous. He's known in the Korean scene of being kind of, back in the day, being one of 3 carries to sort of be the future of AD carry in Korea. And the other 2 on that list were Piglet and ASD, actually. So he is highly regarded in the amateur scene. And some of his peers have gone on to do great things, obviously. Piglet, huge. Looks like it's going to be Renekton Yasuo locked in for VTG. And will it be Kog'Maw for Core? The Korgma, if you will.
Korgma. Well, it is going to be Kog'Maw.
It will, yeah.
And even with that Kog'Maw pickup, there's not a lot of knockup potential here from VTG because the Nami was taken away from them.
Yeah.
And they did decide to first pick that Thresh. So Thresh really the only one able to provide any kind of knockup for the Yasuo ult, which means that this Kog'Maw is actually going to be quite safe due to the immense peel that this team possesses between Nami, Lulu, and Lee Sin. So Kog'Maw should be a pretty strong grab right here. Maybe difficult to lane against Thresh and Twitch pre-6, just because both of those champions are pretty immobile and squishy, Nami and Kog'Maw, that is. And probably going to see an attempt at a lane swap right here.
Yeah, well, there's our roster for the game between VTG and BigFile Miracle. Should be pretty interesting. Much more standard picks than we saw last game, but should result in a pretty awesome game.
Yeah, I really like the pickups that they have, and actually the Yasuo pick may have been a mistake because BigFile took away Lee Sin, they took away the Nami. These are champions that are really good for pairing with Yasuo, and they managed to kind of grab them up. Of course, the Thresh first pick not really lending itself to the best Yasuo ultimates either, so it's really the burden is on Kyle to get into the back line and make the plays.
Yeah. Do you feel like maybe VTG is sort of forcing the plan? Picking that Yasuo?
I think, well, I don't know what Kyle's champion pool is, so
well,
to say.
We'll have to find out. VTG versus BigFile Miracle. The game is loading up. Who wins a chance to play against the Jin Air Falcons and make it possibly into Champion Summer? Let's get the game. All right, guys, here we are. Match 2, Virtual Throne Gaming versus BigFile Miracle. Not exactly the Iron Throne, it's just a virtual throne. Made out of the 1,000 virtual swords of their virtual enemies.
Be pretty good. Well, you only need a virtual throne, though, in League of Legends.
That's true.
That's what you want to sit on. Well, so we do see Mazer actually starting with a Doran's Shield this time, so really trying to get that 2v2 as expected. Interestingly, Linlan starting with a Ruby Crystal.
Yeah, that is kind of different. Do you think maybe he's going for a... I mean, the thing is with the pick potential coming in from VTG, it makes sense to go for a fast side zone.
Yeah, it also makes sense to, if they are going to be in the 2v2, to get some extra HP on this very squishy lane.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Nami is a bit fragile.
Otherwise, yeah, with the Spell Thief, just the kill potential of Twitch and Thresh if that hook gets landed. Now, what's interesting is that Kyle has decided to take heal on Yasuo in the mid lane. It's not something we see very often.
Yeah.
And also, Huhi has decided to take Ignite instead of Exhaust. And so a little bit less orthodox choices in terms of this matchup for summoner spells.
Yeah. Cool stuff. Kyle, are you going to face check that push? Oh, Aqua Prison does connect. Kyle's in a bit of trouble. Has to use his flash. A flash from Sudal. They get the counter strike, and he may go down. He does. First blood goes to Huhi.
Well, that's why you don't face check a brush randomly.
Kyle. I think we might get the opportunity to do that a lot this game. By we, I mean me.
Yeah, and that'll be a blue steal right now. Now, they also are taking their own blue at the same time, so this will be a 3-buff start that Kyle has opened up in favor of BigFile Miracle. So pretty dark start. Snow going to go ahead and check that. Not going to find much of anything. But he does have his dual lane on that side of the map, so he'll feel safe about doing the white. And now Sudal is going to go ahead and start it off right here, get the stun. He's not going to take damage due to the counter strike before Lee Sin gets there. Lane swap in progress for BigFile Miracle.
Yep, that's right. Really deep trekking by Snow there, going all the way to Wolves.
Yeah, he knows he's safe, though, just because he understands that they're going to be prioritizing that 3 buff.
Oh, Kyle.
And it's only now that they could actually go through with that.
Oh, just barely spotted him.
Yeah, does see him, but this Yasuo going to be a little bit behind in the mid lane early on, and Aggro Boy, this is a great invade, too. And actually, Aggro Boy should not be on this side of the jungle at the moment. He knows that the dual lane was up and top, and so there's a large danger that the top lane basically, if you're playing in a lane swap, the top lane and jungle want to be on the same side of the map as the dual lane for safety. So Aggro Boy should actually be jungling on the bottom side of the map right now. He's wasting a ton of time.
Yeah, he's not going to get anything. 4 CS and a lot of time sitting around.
A dive coming in.
Yep. They're going to see if they can dive Kyle. It's going to be a 4v1. Oh, Kyle. Watch out, Kyle. Kyle gets slowed by the Glitter Lancer. Going to come in. There's a Whimsy. Can they chase him? He already has no flash. It's so easy. And Kyle dropped again. Linlan getting a kill that time.
And look at this immediate teleport from Sudal to pick up the wave right here.
Really nice.
They kill. It's a little bit risky because they don't know necessarily where the Elise is in this situation, so it could have been a 3-man dive onto Sudal, but he did hit level 3. It's also very hard to dive Jax as a result of the counter-strike, but I believe his counter-strike may have been on cooldown when he went in too, which made it even riskier if he had actually used it during that gank. So, but it actually does pay off. They're going to get a couple more levels right now. Aggro Boy is down, and Core is zoning him off the wave. Wave will be pushing in the direction very slowly for Aggro Boy, however.
Yeah, so far a pretty strong start for BigFile Miracle. They can really snowball this mid lane. Kyle trying to get aggressive onto Huhi, and he will get a little bit of damage done on him, force a potion usage anyway.
Yeah, Huhi, this, of course, you can always play aggressively with this Yasuo in the mid lane, but he's more than doubling his CS right now, and they're just punishing him brutally for his lack of summoners.
A beast lurks in the bushes.
Beast also has that red buff still.
Yep. Snow didn't even see him. You could say, you know nothing, VTG Snow.
It's true, you could.
Yep. And now his watch begins.
Well, Beast's getting a good read on this situation.
Oh, they do grab Sudal, and they're going to bring in Elise as well, trying to gank him under turret. Little bit too much damage, though. They will back off that turret. Already pretty low. VTG may be able to claim the first objective this game. Not with Linlan coming down as well, though.
Yeah, good timing on that. Maybe a little bit late as a result of that hook. Sudal taking quite a bit of damage right there. Aggro Boy getting slowly poked off the tower. Sudal still has his one level advantage in this situation. And they do have a turret damage edge as well. Of course, VTG nearly finishing off that turret down in the bottom lane, which could open up a possible early dragon attempt for them as well.
Well, that's a lot of damage onto Aggro Boy. He's got to be a bit careful. He still has that flash, but you don't want to lose your flash in a 1v1 against Kog'Maw.
Yeah, especially for not a lot of gain. So Hui going to go back, and he's feeling very confident. Just picking up that Chalice right now for the continued harass onto Kyle. Should be pretty safe. If he comes in, he can just Whimsy Yasuo, so not too much of a kill threat.
Yep, got that ability tome too for a little bit more damage out of his abilities. And yeah, Aggro Boy just not getting a whole lot of farm, but getting a little bit more than Seoul though.
Okay, so this is really important. How is VTG going to play this? They're not going to bounce the wave off the tier 2 turret, so actually this will result eventually in a freeze for Seoul. So that may not be exactly what they wanted. They had time to go ahead and recall, or to push it and then recall instead of opening up a dangerous situation. They're now sending Core down to the bottom lane to deal with the freeze instead. They feel confident in Seoul. He does have a level advantage on Renekton should he go into that lane. And now, oh man, Renekton has to go into a lane that's going to be frozen by a Kog'Maw.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be able to do much of anything at all.
I doubt it.
So is Kog'Maw going to push this out, and are they going to go for Dragon, or is he just going to try and play close to his tier 2? Looks like he's going to break the freeze, actually.
All right. Oh,
so they're
pushing it up anyway.
They're pushing out to go for the Dragon, and I think this is because they saw the duo lane up and top from VTG.
Oh yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So they know they have a Dragon timing here if they want it.
Yep. Meanwhile, Linland trying to help give that red buff over to Beast. Going to try to steal that one, and it looks like they should be successful. They are successful, in fact.
Yeah, BigFile actually setting up some good vision control around the Dragon Pit already, and they're just waiting for this pressure.
Whoa, there they go, in onto Kyle. Kyle with the wind wall. The Wild Growth will knock him up, though. Trying to chase him away. There's a knockup for Beast. He's trapped under turret. Snow, though, deciding not to get aggressive there. A little bit too much. Kyle nearly goes down.
Yeah, both summoners used again, though, and now here's a great Dragon timing for them. Kog'Maw has pushed up the wave, zoning Renekton out the entire time. Man, are they going to dive this?
I think they just want to get
They should just do the Dragon.
Most vision. Yeah, they're just really being careful about this. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to dive.
They should just do the Dragon.
Yeah, do the Dragon. They're not doing the Dragon. I guess they want to do the blue buff first, but that's going to give VTG time to get back in position a little bit.
They've invested a lot into this vision control over the bottom side. They know exactly where the AD carry and support are. Seoul is having a little bit of trouble up there, but he's still at 50% HP and able to farm under the turret. And this is just letting them pressure top lane, letting VTG pressure top lane with no pressure really on the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, what is really stopping BigFile from taking Dragon
This is the problem. BigFile had an opportunity to freeze at tier 2. In fact, it was gifted to them on a silver. At that point, you either make, first off, the Kog'Maw was the wrong champion to send down there if you wanted to freeze. You should have sent Jax and sent your duo top so you can just deny Renekton for a lot longer. And if you send the Kog'Maw bottom and you push out the wave, just take the Dragon. That's why you did that. So, questionable shot calling here from BigFile.
Yeah. Oh, BigFile. BigFile Hui getting chased back by Kyle just a little bit. Kyle trying to even up the CS, still about 20 down. Seoul, speaking of evening up CS, has done it. Oh, he gets grabbed though. Venom and Mazer trying to get some damage in, but Seoul leaf strikes out of there pretty quickly.
I really like the way that BigFile Miracle punished Kyle early for that level 1 play, because he not only died once, but he died twice for blowing those summoners.
They did get the most out of that.
They really did, and they've been doing a good job getting deep wards with their advantage as well, because there's no way for Kyle to respond at the moment. But they've dropped the ball on keeping the tempo up into as we move past the 10-minute mark.
Yeah. Wild growth for Hui, but there's the last breath. Kyle gets a knockup. Hui has to back away. Kyle in a little bit of trouble, has to drop the wind wall. So fought to a bit of a stalemate there. Oh, but Hui not done yet. Another knockup, and Linland tried to chase, but he's not getting there close enough, or quick enough rather, for Aqua Prison or anything like that. Core's just going to go back. He's got a good amount of gold to spend, as does Venom. So we'll probably see the back from the duo lane from VTG pretty soon here too.
Yeah, Trinity Force start on the Kog'Maw.
Okay.
A little bit interesting, but it is powerful in terms of your mobility and your ability to kite very consistently, and considering the amount of initiation and CC it has, seems like it's going to be a pretty good item to pick up first in this particular situation. Also just gives you a little bit more damage onto towers early on too, with the help of that sheen. As soon as you hit 6 and you can start spamming your ultimate, you can really poke down towers very quickly.
Well, Beast still farming in the jungle a little bit, going for more damage. This time, can they make a play onto Kyle here? There's a recall. They don't have vision on him, so they can't really see him. Can't stop it. And so with Kyle going back, do you think this is going to be a time to turn on to Dragon? It looks like it is. Maybe. They don't really have that vision. They're trying to set it up again. Meanwhile, they're just going to take the top lane turret. So now they're going to trade that, if they're lucky, for top lane turret. But I don't know if it's going to work out.
Really bizarre.
Yeah.
So also, we see Seoul, he used his teleport to go back to the turret, but now he's giving it up. And if he had just walked to the Dragon Pit and 5-manned it, he could have teleported top and then maybe saved that turret if he had used the teleport at a different timing. This is kind of awkward play this game from BigFile Miracle in spite of their small lead.
Yeah, I think we're seeing an amateur team here. You know, not quite as polished as what we're used to, but they've made it this far. Still have a chance to move into Champion Summer, of course. Kyle needs to get back into mid lane to save that turret. Wanted to do Wraiths.
And there have been a lot of gifts here. Now, Virtual Throne has gifted another lane freeze over to them up in top this time. It's unclear as to how aggressively Seoul is pushing that, but it looks like he's pushing it very hard.
VTG, they are benevolent monarchs. Lots of gifts.
Yeah, but BigFile Miracle's wave control is extremely questionable this game, and they should have been able to pull a much larger advantage out of this situation.
Well, he does have the ward, so he does see Kyle there. And they are taking more control over the jungle. Core needs to be a little bit careful here. There's a lot of members of VTG moving up. They're going to go for red buff steal again. This will be the second one in a row they've taken now. They will get it. Nice Aqua Prison just to prevent Mazer from coming in.
And they're still playing the bottom side of the map right here. I do think at the current time, it's actually better for the AD carry to head into the mid lane at this juncture and then have Lulu play more forward and then try and freeze whatever lane you can with the Jax and play safe while you farm him up, and you can just put better pressure onto the mid lane with Kog'Maw.
Makes sense. Well, now we've got the duo against the duo. Both sides pushing pretty hard. It's kind of funny. In the end, though, the Twitch Thresh lane, a little bit bigger of a bully.
Well, the thing is, Virtual Throne Gaming has been able to catch up just by virtue of the towers that they've managed to get, even though they did give up the first blood and the second kill as well from Kyle in the mid lane.
Yeah, those have been the only 2 kills of the game, though, so as we go on, those mean less and less.
Yeah, Trinity Force now completed for Core, so we'll see now that he has his first major item if he's going to make a different decision about which lane he goes to. It seems like the answer is no, he's just going to go back. Here is another opportunity for a lane freeze.
Will they do it? Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not.
They should do it, though. They should freeze until Dragon and then push out then.
Well, Kyle's still behind on farm, but still doing okay. Nearly has that static shiv. I'd imagine it's pretty close.
Seoul will be given the red buff this time around just to make his life a little bit easier up in that top lane against the Renekton until he can finish one of his major items, going for the Bilgewater into Trinity Force, not completing the Blade of the Ring this game. He does need a little bit more tankiness, I think, to deal with this Renekton early on.
Yeah.
Agroboy has gone for kind of that alternate aggressive Renekton build. Some players like to build that Tiamat. Some players really prefer the Brutalizer.
We do see both from time to time.
We do see both. I think it's much more of a preference thing.
Oh. Mazer nearly with the death sentence there.
Of course, you don't have that same amount of sustain, but you can do more bursts, and you can do it more frequently with the cooldown reduction. So it's really just a stylistic choice if you're feeling confident.
And here we go, a big push onto the mid lane from BigFile Miracle, and they're going to try to engage, jumping onto Huhi. Wild Girls himself, there's a tidal wave, gets blocked by the wind wall. They knock off Huhi, there's the last breath. Kyle and Huhi in a mid lane duel. Meanwhile, in the actual lane, Seoul jumps in onto Mazer. Angro Boy gets low and has to back off immediately. Beast goes down. Might as well call Snow Gaston because he slayed that beast. Nobody fights like Gaston.
Wow.
Although in the end the beast won, so oh well. We tried.
It's a revisionist Beauty and the Beast.
That's right, yeah. The darker version, no more gritty. Frank Miller's Beauty and the Beast.
Agro Boy going to get a lot of experience off the wave here. Seoul still a level ahead in spite of all of this, and that fight really resulted in not a lot of anything, even though it was a pretty cool wind wall block on the tidal wave. I didn't even know it just blocked the entire wave.
I didn't
like
know that either, actually. I've never seen that happen. That's true. Naturally, all of my tidal waves hit everybody. They're always perfect, so I've never seen that.
Good save on that ability, though, and it did buy some time for Renekton to get in there as well, because had that tidal wave hit, the teleport play coming in, they may have been able just to collapse on him while the rest of the team was CC'd, so that prevented that from happening. They do get a kill. And we're still within a very close game right now. 45 seconds until the next dragon.
Yeah, I think that's when a lot of this game is going to be decided. I think we're going to have a fight, and I think it's going to be one-sided, but I don't know which side it's going to be one-sided for. Just my random predictions there.
Well, Agro Boy is the one who's actually coming down towards the dragon pit right now. And right now, in terms of just composition and scaling, it's better for BigFile Miracle just to go ahead and knock down the top lane tower and just trade the dragon for it. But he's going to come down. I think he should just go for the top lane tower, make the even trade, and have confidence in his composition's ability to outscale.
Well, they want to fight, it looks like. They're going to give it a try. The ults are up again. So they can. The dragon up now.
Problem is they don't have exhaust for Yasuo.
Yeah. It was used in the last fight. And so that will be a bit of a problem. Kyle pushing up mid lane. He can get down there relatively quickly. BigFile, will they go ahead and start the dragon? No, not quite yet. I don't believe, I think now they are. And here comes Kyle. Okay, dragon dropping relatively quickly, actually, so VTG needs to make their move now. Beast is going to be the one making the move, coming in. There's the tidal wave, gets blocked again, and Seoul into the back lines. Beast Wild Growth. Seoul will go down, though. Venom nearly taken out, but he makes out alive. A huge play brings in a lot of BigFile players, and that leads to a double kill for Kyle. And now VTG turns it around. They're going to take out Core, and this fight is all VT Gaming. VTG Gaming. What did I tell you, man? Dostradamus, dragon fight one-sided.
However, the dragon just killed two people on VTG.
Until they died to the dragon, it was. Never mind. Forget what I said. Huhi nearly gets death sentenced.
He stops the dragon, though, misses the glitter lance.
Wow. What a crazy fight. Okay. So, until the dragon killed people, it was one-sided, but it ended up being pretty even. What do you know? 5 to 5 kills, even on gold, guys. We don't know which way this one's going.
Oh, man. Seoul got a nice 3-man stun in there. Now, they kick Snow in, but you don't want to kick the Elise who can repel. They tie people up, and they are able to collapse onto Agro Boy while the stun happens. So this looks like it's going pretty well, but unfortunately, the play and then just the ultimate from Yasuo turning the tides on this fight. Some early damage taken. Now Snow going to catch the dragon aggro.
And the dragon's going to start fighting them. Oh my gosh, that dragon.
Well, it was actually the Acathian surprise that killed the Na'Vi, and now we're back into another fight.
All right, let's see this again. Seoul gets grabbed. Linland looking for an angle, doesn't have his ultimate. Seoul's going to jump farther in. Kyle getting in the backlines onto Core. Core nearly goes down, but they take out Kyle instead. Snow trying to finish off Huhi, but it's not working out. This time, BigFile comes out on top with a near-perfect ace. A double kill for Core as he goes down. What is this game?
It's certainly not the best game of League of Legends we've ever seen, Noah, but it is entertaining.
Well, it's entertaining, yeah. All right, so this is happening.
They're going to get a mid tower for it as well.
Good job.
Get some really good farm onto Jax here in the meantime.
Well,
oh boy, so we'll have to see the lead up to that fight again, because we kind of got thrown right into the middle of it.
We won't get to see it.
Well, basically they just fall filed in one at a time, which made it very easy for these single target damage champions like Jax and Kog'Maw to pick people off, and another really big counter-strike as VTG once again groups up too heavily for this Jax, and that's a double kill for the Jax as well.
Man.
Certainly going to help his scaling.
Yep, I think it probably will. So now we have about a 5,000 gold, 4,000 gold lead or so for BigFile Miracle after being tied about a moment ago.
Oh, when you get a dragon, a tower, and an ace, it really helps out that old gold swing, doesn't it?
I've heard rumors. It is good for your gold income. Yes. Well. So, well, VTG Gaming, if they can get a couple picks, they can certainly still come back. Question is, will they be able to do it? Trinity Force and Cutlass done for Seoul, whereas Aggro Boy still just rocking that Brutalizer in the chain fence. So big advantage right now for Seoul in the top lane. Mid lane turret's going to be under some pressure from VTG. Will they see them turn that around? Linland does have ultimate. Kyle's done a good job of blocking that though with Wind Wall.
Oh, he's doing what he can. It's still a really difficult situation because he can't block a lot of the abilities that are coming out of Kog'Maw, like the ultimate.
Yeah.
So it does make it a little bit difficult. You are going to have to take some level of damage, some amount of damage. And Jax, he's gotten into a scary split pushing state, and that means he's going to get a tower quite easily right there. Core dodging.
Right. Oh, they're going to go in. There's the kick on the Mazer. He may have the maneuvers, but he's going down. The box doesn't do anything. There's a knock-up Core. Unfollowed up upon by Kyle. Kyle goes down to Beast. They do chase down Core in the back line, so 2 kills apiece for each team. Now Linland getting chased. Can Snow do it? Snow gets knocked up. Sudal joining the fight, and he may be able to turn this one around. He will. Linland lives a double kill for Sudal again. And Aggro Boy, the last man standing, and he's going to have to back off.
Yeah, Sudal late for the fight. That's the only reason it went over. And Mazer got singled out and then proceeded to do nothing.
Yep.
Had a very poor ultimate on the side right there. The only thing he succeeded in was preventing his own death for about 2 seconds.
Yep. And that's not terribly useful.
No, it's not, and BigFile Miracle again gets the better end of that deal. Jax just getting more and more fed.
All right, let's check this out. Nice play from Beast there.
That's a beautiful insect.
Yeah, no kidding. And that Hawk's not doing anything. Yeah, that was a bit rough.
And at that point, too, the Renekton didn't have the teleport up, and Sudal had his port up too, but he didn't have a good ward to hop to over that fight. It kind of trended away from the ward that he decided to port to.
Yep.
Eventually comes in, picks up a double kill though, and that's all he needs. The snowball is really rolling.
Yep.
23 minutes, he already has a completed Blade and Trinity Force. This is very early for those items.
Yeah. Aggro Boy trying to finish his Randuins, but he's got a little while to go yet. A little ways to go, rather.
So pretty easy farming for the Jax at this stage, and Huhi also doing quite well.
Yep, 5,000 gold lead now for BigFile Miracle. And we'll see if they're able to extend that lead as the mid lane push again continues. It's looking a little bit like ARAM, just constantly mid-pushing, constant fighting.
Well, the thing is, now BigFile has an unstoppable split pusher. The
Yeah.
Renekton really isn't going to be able to do a lot in this situation, so VTG is in a bit of a pickle. A Jax gets this far ahead on you in a game, and it's really, really hard to stop. Maybe Kyle can. He just finished his Blade, but even that is unlikely.
Yeah. Whatever you say, Twitch.
And at the same time, if you send Kyle into that lane, you can't really defend against the very good siege of Nami, Lulu, Kog'Maw either. You have to have that wind wall there.
Yeah.
Because Renekton, Twitch, and Thresh and Elise just aren't going to be able to prevent a siege on a turret. The wave clear simply isn't really there.
They're going to go after this mid lane turret. They should be able to get it, I would imagine. Yep, there
They
it
may
goes.
lose a tier 2 for it, though.
They do, yeah, indeed. Sudal's pushing down that top tier 2, dragging up at about 30. Renekton coming in, Sudal's going to leave strike away immediately. That'll allow BigFile to put a little bit more pressure onto the mid lane. They're going to rotate around towards Dragon. Beast gets hit by the cocoon. Whoa, that spider went for a ride, man. Did he just, what in the world? What happened to the spider, man? That was at the same time hilarious and terrifying. I don't ever want to see spiders flying through the air like that. Replay.
Seoul was actually seen in that ward.
Dominus gets popped, Kyle, and wow, they're going to 3v1 onto Seoul. Seoul gets knocked up. There's the last breath, and it will be for Seoul. Meanwhile, the tier 2 turret goes down. BigFile capitalizing on losing their top laner, and actually Venom managed to die as well a little while ago.
They may try and get a Baron right here.
I guess
but
so.
2 sweepers used, and that means that they finally are able to take the one at the pit.
Yeah.
So this is a bit of a desperation right here. Seoul up in 20. They're not going to be able to take it.
Yep.
But instead, everybody from Miracle rotating over to the Dragon.
That's right. BigFile Miracle should be able to finish off this Dragon. In time, it looks like they will just barely do it. Yeah, will the fight continue? Mazer continuing to chase as the death sentence doesn't hit anybody. So BigFile will just back off and be content with that little bit of a gold boost.
Well, you see, Linland just has such a massive advantage in gold right now. He already has a Crucible and a Talisman completed, and there's just nothing, no completed core items onto Mazer yet.
All right, so here we see Venom. Oh,
Bye.
nice, Aqua Prison. And he gets kicked out again, jeez. Beast and really loving those plays.
This is exactly what you wanted from BigFile. You really don't care if Jax dies right now as long as he's dragging 3 or 4 people to his side of the map, because you'll always be able to take an objective advantage.
He's still 5-2-2. His KDA has not really been affected too much.
No, it hasn't. He's absolutely terrifying. So generally speaking, if your enemy team has Jax, it's like, oh, they sent 3 people to come stop my split push. You just shrug your shoulders while your team wins you the game. It's totally fine. That is really in any meta. It's not even the current meta. One of the definitions of carrying on Jax is how many players they have to send to try and kill you.
Yep. True enough. And so VTG just trying to push their lanes out again. Some wards being set up by BigFile Miracle around Baron now. They want to have the opportunity to jump on that if Seoul gives him that chance.
Well, they can sneak Baron so easily right now.
There's no vision
Blades
at all.
of the Ruined King.
Yeah, no vision at all for VTG.
And they probably should start this because they are ahead enough that they can turn, especially because they have a Talisman and the other team doesn't, that any turn is going to be effectively a free initiation, especially with the tidal wave up. And VTG really doesn't have a good initiation of their own. They're very dependent on landing a hook or a cocoon. That's really their only form of engagement. So it's going to be really hard for them to actually play aggressively.
All Snow, they've got a couple people coming in onto Seoul, and we'll see what the rest of BigFile Miracle does. Seoul trying to get the kill onto Agroboy. Agroboy has to back off. Kyle tries for the knockup over the wall. Looks like the rest of BigFile coming in. They want to fight. A big knockup coming in. Mazer tries to box their zone a little bit. Core gets trapped, has to flash over the wall. Flash from Agroboy will finish him off. A bit messy, but VTG still on the run. Damage done by a Caffeine Surprise, and that's going to allow Hui to give Seoul the double kill. Mazer trap. There's the near Asa triple kill for Seoul, and they can just push whatever they want all day. Yeah, there they were. They're going to finish off Agroboy if they can catch him, and they should be able to. Yep, there we go. Ace.
Delayed Quadra right there for Jax as well. So Seoul really showing up, and they certainly still have the damage to do the Baron if they decide to turn on it right now.
Looks like they are.
Was a little bit sloppy. Core got a little bit left behind, and it was surprising that Agroboy, in his very weakened state, was able to get back onto the Kog'Maw. Yeah. But he did have a heads-up play over the wall right there to take out the AD carry. Unfortunately, that Baron still dying ridiculously quickly.
Yep, doesn't really make a big difference. Baron goes to BigFile Miracle, and Core alive in time to get the buff too. He's going to push up bot lane, and then they're going to regroup. 11,000 gold lead already for BigFile Miracle. Let's watch this again.
Yeah, this is what happens. You draw multiple people up there as Jax. You nearly killed a Renekton in a 1v2, and then there's a lantern so they can see over the wall. Hui goes over and then gets the wild growth down, but Core, he didn't want to be stuck in that little choke point right there away from his team. He got flanked by the Twitch.
Well, Venom, made kind of a nice play. Was able to flank the Kog'Maw and do a little bit, but it's just way too much of a lead for BigFile Miracle right now.
Yeah, this Jax is a total monster.
Yeah, is indeed. There he is again, 9-2-3 now. Wow. Has his Randuin stun. Pretty much has everything he wants as a Jax.
Hard to want more, except for a GA
Yep.
at this stage.
Yeah, GA would be nice. Even has double buffs and Baron.
But
He's got all the buffs.
The Randuin's is better against this team just because you do have two Blades of the Ruined King and a Renekton that can deal a little bit of damage with auto attacks as well. So why not go ahead, slow down that damage output, and Agroboy just has no chance.
Yeah, Agroboy needs to run. Even with that ultimate pop, Kyle coming in to try to help out, but Sudol just gonna jump right onto Kyle.
He doesn't care, he'll just 1v2, whatever.
Yep, why not? It's at that point. So, big push in the bot lane now. There goes the top tier 2.
Best part is Jack's just going to heal up. He's got his teleport available as well, so if he wants to join, he can just teleport to the back of this fight. Uh-oh, Linland gets grabbed.
He does, and there's a Cocoon. Can they follow up? No, it doesn't look like an Aqua Prison, and Snow gets a bit low. He gets to repel away. BigFile Miracle is the steamroller now. And Sudol is just going to get the inhibitor, I guess. Why not? They do have to ult Beast, but that's okay. Sudol gets the inhibitor. The disengage from BigFile Miracle. This is just textbook 4v1 split pushing. They kick them away. Tidal Wave comes through. Oh, nice kill steal from Linland. And they're going to clean up the rest of this fight. Now Beast comes in with a kill onto Twitch, and Kyle going to go down very, very quickly as Beast is all over him. A double kill as well. Sudol already working on those Nexus turrets. He doesn't care. And at about 32 minutes, BigFile Miracle will take a crushing victory over Virtual Throne Gaming. I think this BigFile Miracle game versus Jin Air Falcons coming in. This is going to be a good one. There it is. The Nexus goes down, and Firebat Heroes team takes the game. GG.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy in the early game. I really don't feel that BigFile Miracle took all of the advantages that they could have, but they did close out the game nicely.
They did.
So